Are you ready, Slappy?
Yep.
Alright. So the score is 2-1 in BZG's favor. And we have here in the north position BZG Ice as the pink Terran.
And in the south position, we have the yellow Protoss player, Meat Plunger, who is currently up 1 game.
So in the last game, we saw Meat Plunger take a really great approach to macro, taking a lot of bases as Protoss, and keeping a great contain on the Zerg. And eventually, despite some very great holds by BZG's Brant, took the game, giving Insight their first win.
Mm-hmm. And seeing Meat Plunger, in the beginning, he kind of had some bad placements, but he excels just really well late game. And since we're in a cross-position Shattered Temple, I have a feeling we're going to see some pretty good macro games here too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Shattered Temple, a map that's been through a whole lot in its time. Actually, the map that's was most used in the first tournament in StarCraft 2, the HDH Beta King of the Beta Invitational, and it's been through a lot of changes since then, and it's finally being retired out of the map pool after nearly 2 years. So
It was called Lost Temple before, wasn't it?
yeah, Lost Temple. And before that, in StarCraft 1, was also a very popular map. So it's had its time in the limelight and finally getting to take a rest. So we get to say goodbye in a very good way here.
Do you know why Shattered Temple was changed to Lost Temple? Was it just because the adding of the destructible rocks?
It was a few things. One, Lost Temple originally was very imbalanced against Zerg. They had a cliff here near the natural expansion that Terrans very, very often used for tank drops and Thor drops that were very, very difficult to deal with. So they decided to remove it, but they also figured out that the island expansions were almost never used in basically any matchup. Terran were the only one that ended up using them, so they added the rocks there and decided instead of just renaming Lost Temple, they'd give it a new name and sort of restart its legacy.
Mm-hmm. Now the legacy is coming to an end. Sad to see it go, but
also very happy.
Yeah.
This map, not bad for Protoss, not bad for Terran. As a Zerg, I hate playing on this map because the third is so incredibly difficult to take. So we'll see what Terran and Protoss do here. Protoss not opting for Forge Fast Expand and instead doing a one gas here. Usually you put up that second gas about the time the Cyber finishes, but I don't quite see him doing that, so...
Question, why would you Forge Fast Expand against a Terran?
I don't know. I've seen it happen a few times. You put cannons in front of your wall off. It's a strange build, but it can work on certain maps. This one's much too open, though. But we'll see what comes out. We've got this bunker going down at the natural of the Terran, so... yep, and there's a command center, so he's going to float that over pretty quick. Run one Rax expand on Lost Temple cross positions. This is a very smart move here.
Gonna snipe that SCV. That SCV seeing pretty much everything so far, but wondering when that probably gonna be just a normal one gate fast expand, and pretty much both standard out of both players actually.
Yep.
Loading up the bunker and probe, or the stalker won't be able to harass too much unless they don't get put in.
And it doesn't... Alright, there they go. Finally in.
Yeah, too.
So we've got 3 racks going up for this Terran player along with the expansion. The second, both gases being put up just now, so expect to see some add-ons on those as soon as some gas production gets going. Probably 1 tech lab, 2 reactors. The Protoss opting for 3 gateways. No robo going down yet. Not quite enough gas, so maybe we'll see that happen at 100 gas.
He also, Ice putting down another bunker. I don't know if he suspects an all-in or...
It's just being safe. It's hard to say. This map, it's a decent map for a 4-gate with a brush here and an easy proxy pylon position over at the gold base. There's a lot of places to put that, so yeah, you can see Ice searching around for that right now. Just checking all the spots that are likely. Meat Plunger not opting to go that route, taking another macro game. He seems to enjoy the macro quite a lot. So it's going to take a minute and we'll see how this game pans out.
Both expansions pretty much landing and finishing at the exact same time, so supply in Meat Plunger's favor, but that's only because Chrono Boost. That should be able to even out sooner or later.
25 workers to 31 workers, but income still very even. So we've got 250 gas from Ice and no add-ons on 2 of the barracks. I'm not sure what's going on. He does put down the factory eventually, but this just looks like a little bit of a sloppy build to me. Protoss, on the other hand, about 300 gas. Robo, no Robo yet. He's putting up double forge. I suppose saving up gas to go for the attack and armor upgrades very quickly. Protoss have a great advantage with that because of Chrono Boost. If you get down those double upgrades going pretty early, you can get into a very comfortable upgrade advantage later in the game.
Especially against Terran too, where the armor effects work very good on Marines because they already start out with, or all the Protoss units beside all the gateway units, or just actually Zell and Stalker, I don't know what I'm saying. They will start out with 1 armor, and the more armor you get, the less damage the Marines do, and they only do 6 damage too.
Right.
So if you manage to get up that +1 armor,
yeah,
then they only really do 4 damage. And that
I believe +1 armor plus Guardian Shield reduces Zealot Marine damage to only 2, which is a huge amount of damage negation. It's, you know, they're doing 1/3 of the damage they normally do. So reactor going up on the factory, likely going to get switched with the starport. We're going to see some medevacs out here for sure. Stim about to finish, +1, actually more than halfway right now. A little bit ahead of the Protoss +1, but he's going to have armor upgrades as well.
Protoss floating a lot of gas and putting down the Twilight Council, so I expect to see some either Archons being made or some High Templar for the Storms and feedback on the medevacs.
Well, he doesn't have the 4 gas. He's only putting up a 3rd gas now. It doesn't look like he's going for the 4th there quite yet. I can't see him going High Templar off of only 3 gas. It's incredibly difficult to do.
Floating an unusual amount of gas, though.
Yeah, it's 307. I just think his macro's doing very poorly right now. He's not spending. He needs to be popping up more sentries. He doesn't need all these Zealots. He needs, you know, more than the 3 sentries. He's got to have a good amount of force fields to deal with a very biocentric force.
+1/+1 finishing for the Protoss player, researching charge too.
Yeah, charge legs. So this is probably going to move into Zealot Archon in the late game. That's what you see a lot against Terran. It's very effective, and unless the Terran is very spot on with ghosts and EMPs, it's very hard to deal with for a Terran. Combat shields about to finish. Looks like he's going to try timing here with combat shields. This could be trouble for the Protoss.
No concussive shells. I don't know if this was actually a mistake, but he got stim and combat shields, but no concussive shells. But
with if only 2 Marauders are in the force, it's not really going to make a big difference there. He's going to focus on the Marine DPS. He sees the amount of sentries, so he knows it's fairly safe to push in. There he goes. There's a stim. That's a little preemptive. That stim's going to run off pretty quick. Splits his forces a little bit. Oh no. This is a very
Force field
sloppy push
actually
by
working
Ice.
against him.
But those,
He just created a better choke.
yeah, that was very poor. There's a little bit poor on both accounts, but
There
we
we
go.
go. There's
Gets a
some
little bit of surround.
really
He
good force fields.
lifts off with those medevacs, skids out of there, and Meat Plunger holds. Sometimes I just want to call him Meat Stick, and then get really oh, he's dropping into the main with this. And there we go. The Protoss finally responds. I don't think it's going to be able to do much damage. He's going to kill a few pylons and some units, but he could have moved in and sniped, and he might just still snipe that forge. He doesn't have enough units there. Oh, he's going to snipe the +2 attack. Oh, no.
And he's going to load up and try to leave, but is he actually... Oh, my God.
Oh, he's going to get caught by Stalkers there.
Going to be there.
All right, he's going to move around the left side, and he's going to make it out safe. Oh, man, that was a big deal. +2 attack not finishing, so evening up there with the +1 armor from Terran. Great move by Terran. Great decision-making there, sniping that forge, seeing that it was upgrading. He knew that it was important. Also, Storm on the way from Protoss, and a third base.
Charge also done. Charge with Storm is very, very good. Forces the Terran player to continually back up, and as long as you put the Sonic Storms behind them, there's not many places they can run, which is pretty. But is there any robotics facility on the field at all?
There is no robotics facility. There's absolutely no observers out right now. So, one thing to note, there's only 5 racks off of this 2-base, about to be 3-base Terran. He's not putting up any more than that right now, and his Ghost Academy just barely popping up right now. So, a little bit behind on that macro fund. He's not doing anything with that command center right now, not producing SCVs, not morphing it at all. So, subpar macro there. There he goes. Finally, he's going to move it over. Down to the gold, it looks like.
Also, he has an armory, too. Looks like he's either going to try to get some Thors, which I...
No, it's more than likely for the +3 upgrades there. He doesn't have any tech labs on factories.
I
think he's just preemptively doing that.
Robotics facility actually up now.
Oh, finally, there we go. He's going to have some observers out now. So, there's the first one about to pop. Let's see where it ends up heading. It's not rallied for anywhere. He does get a scan, sees the robo facility, and sees the observer coming out in the third base. Very important information. He's going to move out with a small contingency of 1 Marauder and 4 Marines. These guys are not going to have a good day if they ever get caught.
If you shift between 1 and 2, you'll see that the Terran actually pretty much knows everything about the Protoss, and if you switch to the Protoss's point of view, he never even saw the original expansion first. His scouting is subpar, but with this observer, hopefully he can learn a lot more about his opponent, because currently he knows not that much.
Keep in mind, this Terran also doesn't know about Templar archives, and he doesn't know about the storm being finished at all. I'm sure he's got to assume at this point, but also a robotics bay finishing with only 1 facility, so we'll have at least...
There's the scan. He sees him.
Alright, there we go. So he'll probably... Yep, 2 ghosts already on the way. He assumed as much. The energy upgrade for the ghosts already finished, so he was well prepared for this. He knew when he saw Charge, when he was down in the base killing that forge, that it was going to be a Charge Lot Archon, High Templar army, and he's prepared accordingly. So very well played by Ice here. He's keeping his army split at his base, which is very smart, just in case of storm drops or any sort of push that he's not watching.
Robotics facility going up, getting out Colossus, but if you look to the north a bit, you'll see he's destroying his locks, his rocks, maybe for later. Probably not sure if he's going to move in there right now and try to do some damage or try to keep it a secret, but actually he does see it, though. He does scout it. He does scout that they're going down.
Pylons, he's not responding in any way. If he moves in with these 4 units right now, he could actually do a pretty significant amount of damage. He might even be able... No, he would not be able to snipe that Colossus, but if he moves out after the Colossus goes out, he could deal some fairly large economic damage here. There's only 1 Stalker there.
But also 3 cannons set up there, too.
Yep, there we go. Yeah, he's not gonna... He is gonna move in.
Them.
I told you that contingency was gonna have bad day. Look, even the guy they left behind gets killed. How uncool is that? How uncouth. Protoss very smartly putting pylons up around the map so he can warp in wherever he needs to.
He has a lot of charge lock, and especially with that +3 armor and about to be
+3 attack.
Yeah. Those do a lot of damage, and they stay alive for a long time, especially with those High Templar behind them.
Absolutely. But keep in mind, if Terran does get the EMP off, the EMP hits for 50 damage to energy and shield. So that could... is it 50? Actually, how much is it?
Moving forward, getting
Oh, it's 100
astonished.
damage.